far away. The candidates are Mose Dunkel and Shelby Rognstad, and we're going to hear individually from both of them, and then we'll have a 20-minute question and answer period afterwards. So I guess without further ado, we decided, or I should say, I decided to go in alphabetical order. If anybody has any questions, why who's going first? And it's Mose is going first. Thank you.
Thank you. Thanks for the invitation. Let me know if that's a good distance there to hear me. I could get a little nervous before situations like this. In the past, way in the past, in my younger years, I might have even had a little drink before something like this. But those days are done, and I don't go that far to that length anymore. So this morning I got up pretty early. I did have to go to work this morning before I came here, and I don't drink anymore. So I had a cup of coffee, and I'm thinking, I'm thinking about all the questions, and what my position's going to be, and my statements and stuff, and it kind of started weighing on me. I better have another cup of coffee. And so before I left, I had 3 cups of coffee, and then I stopped at Dairy Depot on the way and picked up a Rognstad, drank that. And I got to tell you, it didn't help. But I was in Laclede when I realized I forgot my car. So a good speaker told me a long time ago to break the ice with humor, and I think my jokes are a lot funnier than what they really are. But so 4 years ago, I decided to run for mayor on really a whim. A friend of mine, we were talking, and he was an assistant coach on a team that I was coaching, and he's a guy much smarter than me. Has a lot of fun in life. He's done a lot of things. And he said, "You ought to run for mayor." And I don't know. I said, "Why not? You're from here. You volunteer in the community. You're a smart guy. You not bad looking sometimes." And I thought, why not me? Why not somebody like me? I'm not a politician. I normally don't volunteer for this kind of stuff. I do volunteer a lot for youth sports. I spend about 500 hours a year doing that. It's a real love of my life, really, besides my wife, who's sitting in the front. I don't want to sleep on the couch tonight. So I gave it some thought, and I thought, I'm going to throw my hat in the ring, and I'm going to see what happens. I'm going to see if a local guy can get some support just on, the local recognition that I have from growing up here. And I didn't spend a lot of time campaigning. I didn't spend much money, and I got a fair amount of support. And I was able to get the name out there. Some of the issues that I brought up along the way, I felt like were addressed by the mayor who was elected. I based my campaign on just being open and honest, and trying to be cordial to the other candidates. And I definitely didn't see eye to eye with the other 2 people that were running, but I made sure to go out of my way and be fair to them, and try not to bring them down in any way. Just to work with my own merits and my own experiences. And so I felt like it was a positive experience for me. I learned a lot about campaigning. I learned a lot about elections. I got to learn a lot more about the city. And learning more about it, the hunch that I had about that conversation that I was having with that person at that football field, how can I say this? The thoughts I had about how the city was being ran were true. There was a divide between residents and the city. If you go and ask the common person who lives in town about how water rates and sewer rates are figured, they won't have a clue on how that's figured out. The common resident doesn't go to city council meetings. The common person doesn't vote. So there's a perception of apathy in the community, and I think that's wrong. I think it's a feeling of powerlessness. I think it's a feeling of my voice isn't heard, so I got better things to do. And that's true. People do have their own lives to live. People have a family to support. They have a home to maintain. They have kids that are in school. You know, they have homework. They got dinner to make. They have, you know, all the struggles of everyday life. And that's me to a T. I don't have the time to go to a city council meeting because any night of the week I'm volunteering for the youth of the community. And running for mayor it has cut into that a little bit. Just a little bit of history. I've been coaching junior tackle football for 7 years. I started with the team that I'm coaching right now when they were in 6th grade. They're in 8th grade now. I made a commitment to them a couple of years ago that I would stick with them until they went into high school. Something happened that I didn't think would happen is our team's grown by 20 to 30% each year. We started out with about 18 kids. Now we have 44 because of the commitment I've made and the coaches that I've surrounded myself by. We have a positive atmosphere for the youth. We spend a lot of extra time doing that. It isn't paid. So making that commitment, I had a struggle deciding, should I campaign full-time, besides work, or should I keep my commitment to these kids and keep that structure in my life that does help me, it does help me campaigning, because campaigning so far is stressful. It takes time. I don't have all the answers all the time. A lot of research has to be done to come up with the correct statement, the correct stance, what I really feel. So keeping that commitment has cost me for sure. But I hope people know that that's the kind of guy I am. I'll keep that commitment to the community above my own desire to become mayor. If I am elected, I'll have to give up coaching for the term. And that's not an exciting thought to me, but I'm prepared to do that. So moving on, I wasn't elected, of course, you guys know that. 2 years ago I ran for city council. I wasn't elected to city council either, but I also learned a lot. I felt like, once again, the concerns I brought up during that race, I felt like the city addressed some of those along the way. But we still have that divide that I originally talked about, where people still aren't getting involved. People aren't they're not finding a reason where they can get up out of their couch on a Wednesday evening and go down to City Hall and give support for something, or give their opposition. And it isn't that people don't support or oppose what's going on. It's that people they don't have the drive to do it because they're either not involved in any way, or the exclusiveness of the city has shut them out. That's my opinion. That the city has made it an exclusive club that we promote from within. It's well known that if you want to be promoted, if you want to be up for an open city council seat, you probably need to be on planning and zoning committee, or you need to be in some other part of the city volunteering your time. To me, that it does make sense that you do want to help those people step up, but what it's also doing is creating cronyism, where we're only going to promote people that we know very well, who probably agree with the same ideals that I have. If I'm elected, I would rather have the far left to the far right stepping up. I'd rather have 30 people show up and say, and I'd like to have somebody who doesn't believe exactly the way I do, because good ideas come from sharing differing opinions and finding a way to settle in the middle where we can both be happy on a common goal. So that's the way I see government working. Right now, I feel like the city council and the mayor is pretty far leaning one way. If you look at the votes, it's pretty established that you usually have 5 for and 1 against. And to me, that doesn't make a fair representation of the community. I know that there is a much better mix of people in Sandpoint than, leaning all one direction on either way. I've been overwhelmed by the support I've gotten this time. 2 years ago, the day after Election Day, I decided I would never run for office again, and left. And that was a fact, because I'll tell you, it hurts to lose. But I made a commitment to myself that if I was ever to run again, I would have to have a lot of support that I didn't go out and seek. It would have to come from me, from a broad base from the community. And over 2 years, the support has been overwhelming. I have support from the far left. I mean, people that I would not even ever expect to even pick up the phone and decide to call me and talk to me. But people that I normally would not have a political conversation with, I'm finding myself sitting in their living room, and we're sharing ideas about Sandpoint that we both agree on. And to me, what better way to get down the road with the progression of Sandpoint becoming a stronger community as far as business and social, youth, every aspect of Sandpoint. It's that we all share, we do have common goals, and as long as we're deciding that the issues are way over here or way over here, we're ignoring what really matters right here. And it's an absolute fact. I mean, it happens at the national scene too. We're so focused on, this one little thing that we're never going to agree on. Never. And the best politician and the best thinker and the best minds are never going to make us agree on that one thing. Because we're stuck in our ways, So if we can find a way to, table that, and maybe someday, through like understanding and love and prayer or whatever, that we'll get to that, and we can bring that up again when we all, are sharing the common ideas. So that's the way I see things should be working, and I hope that if elected, I can have the opportunity to do that. Thank you.